Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because the internet just got handed a scandal so wild, it makes keeping up with the Kardashians look like a Sunday school picnic. Forget the Hallmark version of love you've been sold, because Chrisean, Rock and HoodTrophy Bino just ripped the wrapping paper off their messy, jaw-dropping, scandal-soaked reality. We're talking forbidden romance, sisterly betrayal, motherhood under the spotlight, and of course, because what's drama without him? Blueface lurking like the toxic ex who just won't disappear. This isn't just gossip. This is the kind of tea so boiling it could power a whole Starbucks franchise. And the way they confessed about their love story? Whew. Let's just say Romeo and Juliet are somewhere rolling in their graves wishing their drama went this viral. You thought you'd seen Chrisean cry on live? You thought you'd seen Blueface drag her name through every blog like it was his second job? Oh no, honey. This confession makes all of that look like the trailer before the real movie. And trust me, you're going to want popcorn for this. 1. Welcome to the chaos where love, betrayal, and family drama collide, and nobody comes out clean. It all started when whispers turned into leaks, and leaks turned into viral explosions across every corner of social media. Chrisean Rock, hip-hop's walking headline generator, sat down with HoodTrophy Bino, and instead of the usual smoke, chaos, and oops, did I just punch a wall? Energy, she laid her cards on the table. Love, loyalty, sister beef, and the ghost of Blueface's bad decisions all spilled out like TMZ had hacked her diary. The bombshell? Chrisean wasn't just entertaining Bino as some rebound fling. She declared it as if she was announcing Beyoncé's Renaissance tour dates. This was love, baby. Real, messy, unapologetic love. And the internet nearly melted. Why? Because Bino isn't just another name. He's the rival energy, the type of man that sends Blueface pacing circles like a Wi-Fi router trying to reconnect. Tesehki, Chrisean's sister, didn't escape the line of fire either. The confession dug straight into their messy family feud. Imagine airing Thanksgiving dinner grievances on IG Live, but multiplied by 10 million eyeballs. Chrisean called out how sisterhood, clout, and motherhood collide in ways that would make Shakespeare throw his quill across the room. And then came motherhood. For the first time, Chrisean spoke on raising baby Junior with the kind of raw honesty that turned fans into therapists. No sugarcoating, no PR polish, just raw truth mixed with the chaos of navigating diapers, fame, and paparazzi flashbulbs. Meanwhile, the audience sat there stunned, laughing, crying, and typing, "We need a docuseries" in all caps. Because, make no mistake, this wasn't just gossip. It was a cultural reset moment where Chrisean went from meme material to main character energy in the span of one viral sit-down. Blueface's name was all over it like graffiti on a freeway wall. Every sentence carried a shadow of him, how he dragged her, clowned her, and still tried to keep her orbiting his chaotic sun. Only this time, Chrisean's orbit shifted, and Bino was the gravity pulling her out. The reactions? Explosive. Twitter turned into a digital boxing ring, TikTok stitched it into endless reaction videos, and YouTube comment sections became therapy groups. Some fans screamed, "Yes, Queen, upgrade your life." Others clutched their pearls like church, deacons watching HBO. And Blueface? Well, he logged on with his usual blend of emojis and bitterness, adding fuel to the flames he can't seem to escape. It was the beginning of a scandal so juicy it made even Kris Jenner whisper, "Why didn't I produce this?" And just when the world thought it had seen enough chaos, the internet realized this was only the opening act. The confession between Chrisean Rock and HoodTrophy Bino didn't just sit quietly on a shelf, it erupted like a volcano, sending lava straight into every timeline, meme page, and celebrity group chat you can imagine. Suddenly, your grandma scrolling Facebook knew about it, your barber was talking about it, and random Uber drivers were giving TED Talks about Blueface, Bino, and Chrisean's new definition of love. The celebrity world couldn't resist jumping in. 50 Cent, never one to stay silent when mess is brewing, dropped an Instagram meme that looked like it came straight out of his trolling starter pack. A picture of two people clinking champagne glasses with the caption, "Love someone that makes your haters sweat." Fans went wild, instantly tying it to Chrisean and Bino. The comment section turned into a digital Royal Rumble, half screaming, 50 no's, the other half demanding he produce a docuseries. Cardi B, queen of blunt honesty, didn't even need words. She liked a tweet that said, "At least Bino ain't making diss tracks about the mother of his child." And with that single like, Twitter combusted. Thousands of people treated it like she dropped the 10 Commandments. Screenshots flew everywhere. Cardi co-signs, as if she had officially officiated the Chrisean and Bino wedding with her Twitter thumb. Jason Lee, Hollywood's walking megaphone for scandal, practically called an emergency meeting of the Gossip Avengers. He went live, sipping tea and analyzing every syllable of Chrisean's confession, like he was decoding the Rosetta Stone. "This isn't just a love story," he declared. "This is a power shift in hip-hop culture." And you know what? For once, he wasn't exaggerating. Meanwhile, the memes. Oh Lord, the memes. The internet turned this saga into a comedy festival that even Kevin Hart would be jealous of. Blueface's face got photoshopped onto the crying Jordan meme so many times, it could have been a collectible trading card. TikTok edits of Chrisean and Bino holding hands, set to dramatic Twilight music, hit millions of views in hours. Someone even compared them to Bonnie and Clyde, except instead of robbing banks, they're robbing the internet of its ability to focus on anything else. But with memes comes outrage. And baby, the outrage was loud. Half the internet was typing essays longer than college dissertations. "This relationship is toxic. We've seen this movie before. Protect your peace." The other half was shipping them so hard you'd think Amazon Prime was sponsoring it. The divide was brutal. It felt like the Twilight fandom wars all over again. Team Bino versus Team Blueface, except now, instead of vampires and werewolves, it was baby mamas, rap beef, and Instagram lives. And then came the clapback. You know Blueface wasn't going to sit there quietly like a background character in someone else's storyline. Oh no. He stormed onto social media with the subtlety of a wrecking ball, claiming Chrisean was only using Bino to get under his skin. "She'll be back," he typed, as if the internet hadn't just witnessed her declare a full-on love story with a man who actually smiles in pictures. Sir, read the room. You are not the main character anymore. You're the deleted scenes. The internet dragged him so hard you'd think he tried to freestyle at the Apollo and got booed off stage. "This man thinks he's Thanos," one fan tweeted, but Chrisean already snapped her fingers and made him disappear. Another wrote, "Blueface, please go sit down before we Photoshop you into another clown meme." Meanwhile, Tesehki, because what's a scandal without family spice, jumped into the ring with her signature brand of shade. She started dropping cryptic IG stories with emojis so sharp they felt like bullets. A single snake emoji? Fans went full detective mode. Screenshots of old text threads? Conspiracy theories popped off faster than Marvel fans analyzing end credit scenes. Was she shading Chrisean? Was she calling out Bino? Was she just hungry and wanted to stir chaos? Nobody knew, but everybody was watching. And the best part? The internet was lapping it up like it was the last season of Game of Thrones, minus the disappointing finale. Whole YouTube breakdowns popped up, complete with dramatic titles like "The Truth About Chrisean, Bino, and Blueface, Uncut." Twitter Spaces turned into therapy groups where fans yelled, "She deserves better," while others shouted, "This is entertainment, pass the popcorn." The escalation hit such insane levels that people joked this had to be scripted. "No way this is real." One TikTok went viral saying, "Netflix hired Zeus Network to write this." And honestly, at this point, even Zeus producers were sweating, because Chrisean's real life was making their shows look like PG-rated Disney Channel reruns. But the thing that made this saga so addictive wasn't just the drama, it was the unpredictability. Just when you thought the flames would die down, someone threw in more gasoline. One minute you're laughing at memes of Blueface's forehead photoshopped onto SpongeBob, the next you're watching Chrisean and Bino trend worldwide because fans decided their love story deserved a movie deal. And somewhere in the middle of all this chaos, the unspoken truth lingered. This wasn't just celebrity drama, it was cultural warfare, playing out live on everyone's screens. After the dust settled, or at least pretended to, what came next wasn't peace, but pure aftershocks. Because when Chrisean Rock decides to confess on a global stage, the ripple effects don't just touch a few fans. They shake the entire internet like it's trapped in a never-ending earthquake drill. Blueface's reputation, already clinging on by dental floss, took another brutal nosedive. The more he tried to clap back, the worse it looked. Every sarcastic tweet, every shady post, every attempt to reclaim the spotlight just painted him more as the bitter ex who can't handle not being the headline anymore. The internet didn't hold back, dragging him across timelines with insults. So savage, even Shakespeare would have said, "Damn, that's too harsh." Meanwhile, Chrisean and Bino leaned all the way into their new narrative. Instagram pictures of them cozy and smiling hit the feeds, making it clear they weren't hiding. It was us against the world vibes, dripping with PDA so thick even. Hallmark would have called it excessive. Fans split into two camps. Some swore this was her redemption arc, finally escaping Blueface's toxic orbit. Others said, "Girl, this is season 99 of your soap opera, and we've seen this plot twist before." But either way, people couldn't look away. Motherhood became a central talking point in ways Chrisean hadn't faced before. This wasn't just about her drama anymore. It was about baby Junior growing up under the blinding spotlight of constant chaos. Every photo she posted, every live she did, fans analyzed it like forensic scientists. Was she calmer now? Was Bino bringing stability? Or was this just another chapter in the endless roller coaster that never ends? People debated harder than they did about presidential elections. And then came the brand attention. Because when your personal life pulls in more views than Netflix originals, Hollywood starts knocking. Rumors swirled about reality show pitches, podcast deals, and even documentary-style offers. The Chrisean rock story suddenly looked less like a meme and more like a profitable franchise. Producers smelled ratings, streaming platforms smelled subscriptions, and Chrisean, she smelled opportunity. Tesehki, on the other hand, played the wildcard role like a pro. Some days she shaded her sister, other days she hinted at reconciliation. The unpredictability kept fans glued. Was she about to drop a diss track? Was she going to sit down with Chrisean and Bino for a teary-eyed reunion? Nobody knew, but everybody wanted front row seats. Her every emoji became a national event. Her every repost a coded message waiting to be cracked. And in the middle of it all, the power dynamic shifted. For years, Blueface had been the one steering the narrative, making Chrisean the sidekick in his chaos-ridden storyline. But after this confession, the script flipped harder than a bad mattress. She was the main character now. The media wasn't running Blueface's girl headlines anymore. It was Chrisean rock, mother, fighter, lover, drama magnet, cultural phenomenon. Blueface got downgraded to a subplot, and worse, the bitter one that audiences skip. Through when binge-watching a series, fans crowned it her redemption arc. Whether you believed it or rolled your eyes didn't matter. The shift was undeniable. The girl who once looked like she'd never escape Blueface's orbit suddenly stood center stage with a man the internet was half ready to ship as her upgrade. Even the haters had to admit, Chrisean pulled off one of the most dramatic rebrands in celebrity gossip history. But of course, this wouldn't be a Chrisean rock story if it ended clean. The confession left more questions than answers, dangling. Cliffhangers that guaranteed another eruption was coming. Would Blueface keep spiraling into irrelevance, or plot a nuclear-level comeback? Would Bino prove himself as more than just the rebound headline, or become the co-star of Chrisean's next scandal season? Would Tesehki go from shade thrower to peacemaker, or add another explosive twist to the saga? One thing was clear. Nobody was walking away from this without scars, receipts, and a permanent spot in the Cultural Chaos Hall of Fame. The aftermath wasn't an ending, it was a setup. And if you know anything about Chrisean rock, it's this. When the cameras stop rolling, that's when the real scandal begins. And there you have it, the scandal that made the internet forget its Wi-Fi bills, its relationships, and maybe even its sanity. Chrisean rock and HoodTrophy Bino didn't just spill tea. They poured an entire boiling kettle straight onto Blueface, Tesehki, and anyone else standing too close. This wasn't a confession, it was a cultural earthquake, and the EII aftershocks are still shaking. But you already know how this goes. Today's headline is tomorrow's warm-up act, and with this crew, the next explosion is already waiting in the wings. So let's stir the pot right now. What do you think? Is Chrisean finally leveling up with Bino, or is this just another season in her never-ending soap opera? Is Blueface done for good, or is he plotting some messy comeback livestream as we speak? And will Tesehki ever stop throwing emojis like ninja stars? Drop your hot takes below, because your comments are basically gasoline to this fire, and we're here to watch it burn. If you've made it this far, you're officially part of the gossip fam, and you know what that means. It's time to show some chaotic love. Smash that like button like it owes you rent, subscribe like you're signing the juiciest NDA in Hollywood, and hit that notification bell harder than Blueface hits tweet after midnight. Because trust me, you don't want to miss the next meltdown, clapback, or leaked DM we uncover here. This is Gossip Flow, where scandals don't sleep, receipts never expire, and tomorrow's headline is already brewing. Until next time, stay messy, stay nosy, and remember, the drama never ends, it only reloads. Gossip Flow, out.